Last season at Texas. So now Sly with a 48-yard attempt. Now the kick is blocked. So the Seahawks with excellent defense and now getting the job done on special teams with just under 4 minutes remaining.
And take a look, Julian Love is going to flash right into your screen and get that block. And I've talked about how well he played last week. Look at the effort that he's playing with on special teams. Gets a block, and that was critical for the Seahawks defense. They were just getting run on the whole time. Don't give up. Finally get a block, and that's crucial for Seahawks.
So back-to-back plays. You had a sack on third down. And then a blocked field goal attempt. So now Seattle, who has struggled on offense here in the second half, with a big opportunity, trailing by 3. They start from the 38. The handoff. Charbonnet gains a yard. Second down and 9. So here's what we've seen from the Seattle offense in the second half. They were stopped on fourth down after a 10-play drive, and then 3 consecutive punts on the last 3 possessions.
Yeah, you had a few things happen. The Patriots defense, they learned how to adjust to the tempo. Instead of going man, they started going in a soft zone. Didn't allow for any balls to go over their head. Then from there, they've gotten pressure on Geno. They played tight man on the other side. Because of that, the Seahawks offense has really struggled this second half.
Empty backfield, second down and 9. Pass caught by Smith and Jigba. Marked down just shy of a first. It'll be third down and 1 for Smith and Jigba, his 10th catch today.
And here come the Seahawks trying to bring that tempo back.
Metcalf in motion. Third down and 1. Charbonnet picks up a Seattle first down. Forcing his way across midfield into Patriots territory as the clock now hits 2:20.
Yeah, they have 2 timeouts, so there's no panic. Geno Smith, he's been in this position before.
Plus the 2-minute warning. Smith on first down over the top. Charbonnet to the New England 38. McMillan makes the tackle as we hit the 2-minute warning. Patriots lead by 3. 2 minutes to go in the fourth. Second down and 1. Smith under pressure. Smith throws along the near sideline. It is caught. Metcalf picks up a Seattle first down. Gain of 14.
Christian Gonzalez, he's asking for a push-off. He's not going to get it. And Metcalf, that is nice concentration, nice awareness. Keeps both feet in, secures the catch. That is a first down, and they're definitely in field goal range.
3 receivers set. From the New England 24. Empty backfield. Geno Smith on first down, and that's dropped by the tight end Fant. Started to turn and run before he had possession.
And he was about to go for long ways because the 2 defenders ran into each other. Yeah, he's shaking his head. That's a frustrating play. You drop it, and there's DK Metcalf. He's had himself a good day. 8 catches, 110 yards. Obviously had that long one for a touchdown, and it was the first career 100-yard game in week 1 or 2 for DK Metcalf.
Smith and Jigba also over 100 yards on 10 receptions.
That's a way for Metcalf to rebound from last week.
Second and 10. Smith looking, pump fake, throws, caught. Metcalf hurdle. Right over the top of Jonathan Jones. Do not try this at home.
It just never ceases to amaze me how athletic DK Metcalf is. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's 6'3", 240 pounds, runs a 4.4 40, and he's hurdling defenders like it's nothing.
Timeout with 1:43 remaining. State Farm postgame coming up next. How about the Saints? They've put up 40 plus for the second straight week, leading the Cowboys 44-19. Giants and Commanders are tied in the fourth quarter. Packers leading the Colts by 6. Vikings leading the 49ers by 6.
Yeah, a lot of good games. The close score games, never really surprising, right? It's the blowouts that are surprising. Saints 44, Dallas 19 after Dallas pummeled Cleveland in week 1.
You got to look at Carl Jeffers reviewing the spot from that last play.
Goes.
Comes down out of bounds.
That's always difficult. He comes down out of bounds across the first down marker, but it's where did he go out of bounds?
Anybody ever hurdle over top of you? And if so, what went through your mind?
Fortunately, nobody did. And if someone did, I would just punch them right in the groin.
That's
You're not
nice.
just going to be
After
jumping
review,
over
the ruling
me.
on the field stands as called. The runner is short of the line to gain. Third down.
I would have felt offended, Kenny, that someone was that athletic, just jump over me. I'm supposed to be a linebacker, mean tackling machine. Like, no, not happening.
Geno Smith led the league in game-winning drives last season. Looking to do it here. Third down and 1. Quarterback sneak.
It doesn't look like he got it. Yeah, officials quickly signaled fourth down. He did not get it. Take a look at the knockback. He's about to jump and bam! Met by 2 defenders.
All right, so fourth down. Head coach Vilma. Send out the field goal unit or go for it?
Fourth down, I go for it. I have 2 timeouts. I'm on the road. I play to win the game. Offense has struggled all season long, or excuse me, all half long. I'd go for it.
They're set up to go for it on fourth down. Play clock winds all the way down, and a timeout is taken by Seattle.
Yeah, they were just going to try and draw the defense off sides. They didn't have enough time to do it. I remember those when I played. You'd have the quarterback come up real quickly, and I'd try to tell my defensive line, like, hey, it's dumb.
Remember, they were stopped on 4th and short early in the third quarter by this New England defensive unit.
Right.
Play clock again winding down. They try and draw the defense off sides.
Yeah.
Penalty marker, and the field goal unit now comes out following the delay of game.
5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
They tried to draw them twice, did not work. And now a successful field goal would tie the score after the Patriots just had their attempt blocked at the other end.
Yeah, I would still go for it if I were the Seahawks offense. I'm not saying this is a wrong decision, but I'm looking and saying I'm on the road. My offense has struggled. They finally got some rhythm. I would go for it and see if we can score and get out of here with the win.
You know, we asked McDonald about what was going through his mind last week. First regular season game as a head coach, as Myers nails it. And he told us, I learned the buck stops with me. I'm the guy. You have to think clearly and quickly. And he makes the decision here to kick the field goal. So the Seahawks have tied the game at 20. with under a minute remaining. Julian Love came up with the block at the other end on the Patriots field goal attempt, and now the Seahawks tie it.
And I like their resiliency, right? They've been playing in adverse situations. They're on the road. They've had the ball run on them the whole second half, but somehow they found a way to make plays when they needed to. And offensively, the same thing, right? Offensively, it was downs, punt, punt, punt.
Right.
Find a way to make some plays. They did, and now we look at a tie score.
Seahawks with their first points of the half after they were stopped on fourth down, 3 consecutive punts. And now the Patriots get the ball back under a minute to go.
Look, this will be a great opportunity for Jacoby Brissett to kind of solidify his starting role, right? We know how well he prepares. We know how advanced he is. He's a veteran. So now go out there and make some plays and trust your wide receivers. Hunter Henry, he's been non-existent in the second half. So now lean on your receivers. See if they can make some plays for you.
Patriots have one timeout, 55 seconds. In a tie game. We were there the last time Brissett led a game-winning drive in Cleveland against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks.
The new TB12, that's right. And that's when we actually learned about their camaraderie and how well that they were boys. And he gives Tom Brady a loss in overtime when he was at Cleveland.
From the 30 on first down, Brissett throws it away after he avoided the initial pressure. Down to 49 seconds, now 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was Boye Mafe who was getting the pressure. Leonard Williams was getting in there as well. And as I said, early on in the second half and late in the first half, this feeds into the Seahawks defense and what they want to do. Their scheme is about getting pressure with the front four, making it confusing for the quarterback, switching between the different coverages in the secondary.
2nd and 10 for New England. Brissett throws near side. Coming back to make the catch is Polk. That's only the second reception by a New England wideout. Polk with the first. That was a touchdown back in the first quarter. 3rd down and 3. Brissett hit as he got rid of it. Derek Hall with the pressure.
Derek Hall gets right around Michael Onwenu.
Patriots go 3 and out.
Yeah, just take a look at Derek Hall. He's going to go right around Michael Onwenu. Jacoby Brissett was throwing on time. He just beat Michael Onwenu like a drum. And you could see Jacoby Brissett wincing in pain after that hit.
Down to 26 seconds on the clock. Bearinger will punt it away. Williams deep for Seattle. Williams fields it at the 10. D. Williams brought down at the 24. 15 seconds remaining following a 54-yard punt. Geno Smith and the Seahawks offense back out in a tie game.
Yeah, this situation, Seahawks offense, you're backed up 15 seconds. You know, you need to go roughly 40, 50 yards just to get in field goal range. You do have a timeout remaining, but I find it kind of tough if you're really going to try and push the issue. You maybe do a quick run, do something to see if it can pop, but if not, play for the overtime.
We'll see what they have in mind on first down if they try and take a shot.
2-3, split. Timeout.
Timeout taken by New England.
And Gerard calls that timeout. He wanted to see exactly what they were going to come out in. Now he knows what's the best defense to go against that, whatever play they're going to run, at least that formation he knows.
State Farm postgame coming up next. Green Bay has wrapped up their first win of the season. Giants and Commanders tied Saints score 40 plus for the second straight week. Now the Seahawks call timeout.
Yeah, now they have no timeout, so there's no way for them to get down 40 yards, still clock it, and then be able to kick a field goal. And as you can see, they're bringing out Jackson Smith and Jigba. They're bringing in their bigger package.
So now the Seahawks will run out the clock. We asked the question, which of these rookie head coaches will go to 2-0? Could they both go to 1-0-1?
Yeah, there's the possibility. And if it happens, you jinxed them.
Overtime in Foxborough. Seahawks and Patriots tied 20 apiece at the end of regulation. And now Carl Cheffers will set up for the overtime coin toss. 1 10-minute period, of course. Each team will have an opportunity to possess unless the team receiving the opening kickoff scores a touchdown or the defense scores a touchdown or a safety.
Gentlemen, we are about to begin an overtime period of up to 10 minutes. It is a sudden death unless the first possession ends in a field goal, at which time the opponent will have an opportunity to possess. Fourth quarter timing rules are in effect. All the replays will be handled by the replay official. Each team gets 2 timeouts. Seattle is the visiting team. You get to call the toss. The logo is heads. The other side is tails. What would you like?
Tails.
They want tails. It is heads. New England has won the ball. Toss will take the ball. They will get the ball first at this end of the field. Good luck, gentlemen.
So the Patriots win the toss with 8 of his 14 completions to the tight end Hunter Henry. Patriots outstanding on the ground. Myers gets things started. Patriots will start from their 30 in overtime. Jacoby Brissett and the New England offense with Caden Wallace.
Yeah, there's
now
Vidarian
left
Lowe.
tackle.
Vidarian Lowe has been the starting left tackle. Not sure what the injury is, but Caden Wallace is going in now at left tackle. He's been the jumbo tight end for him the whole time, so he's been in the game. He's warm. Now it's just a matter of transitioning to that tackle position.
On 1st and 10 from the 30. Ramondre Stevenson. Gain of 2. Touchdown wins it.
Well, let's take it back to week 1 overtime. Detroit versus the Rams. When they went in overtime, just ran it down the Rams' throat. Scored a touchdown, called the game. And looks like the Patriots are trying to take a little snapshot of that and do the same thing. They've had a ton of success running the ball in the second half.
Right, a field goal would give Seattle an opportunity.
Yep.
2nd down and 8. Overtime in Foxborough. Brissett steps up.
Oh,
throws,
nice catch.
And it is caught by KJ Osborne. That's his first reception today. Gain of 7, 3rd down and 1.
I mean, this is good coverage by Reek Woolen. What great ball placement. Jacoby Brissett puts it on the money, only where KJ Osborne could get it. That was a nice catch.
Third down and 1 for the Patriots in overtime. There is a flag. Stevenson does not get there.
It might be an illegal formation.
Illegal formation number 70 was on the end of the line, did not report. The ruling on the field is the runner is short of the line to gain. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
So the Patriots will send out the punting unit.
What the officials are referencing is that even though Caden Wallace was in as a tackle, he then went to tight end. If you go to tight end, you have to report still. Now you switch over to tight end position and then run the play.
D. Williams waiting inside his 10. Steps up. Fair catch.
Oh.
Nearly coming together with his teammate Nehemiah Pritchett. So now the Seahawks offense with an opportunity.
Seahawks very lucky. Williams didn't fumble that football, and friendly fire, that could have been disastrous for the Seahawks.
All right, so what do you look for from the Seattle offense?
I look for the same in the first half, where they start to gain momentum with one quick play, stay in that formation, hurry up the tempo, and keep the Patriots basic.
From the 16-yard line in overtime, Smith complete to Smith and Jigba. His 11th reception. Out to the 21-yard line, gain of 5.
Nope. Seahawks decided to actually huddle up, gave time for the Patriots to sub in different personnel. Interesting to see. They're going empty. They're going in and out of empty. They want to see, is it man, is it zone? Is it man, is it zone?
Charbonnet in the backfield. 2nd down and 5. Smith to the outside. 1st down reception made by DK Metcalf.
And Gonzalez has been giving him that room out of respect all game long. You've rarely seen Christian Gonzalez go press man against DK Metcalf. DK is too big, too strong of a receiver. So you have those speed outs available, and then the way to counter it is switch to a cover 2, have Jabril Peppers cover him over the top. They may or may not get to it depending on the tempo of the Seahawks offense.
Empty set from the 31. Smith firing downfield, and the adjustment made by Lockett. A couple of flags are thrown as well.
So
Jonathan Jones says who, me?
Number 31, defense. Automatic. 1st down.
and Jonathan Jones is still complaining.
Seahawks pick up 20 yards on the penalty flag.
I can understand his frustration. He looked back at the football. He was looking back. He was defending the football.
Now in New England territory from the 49. Smith moving to his right. Throws. It is complete for a gain of 4 to Smith and Jigba, his 12th catch today. Lockett has 10.
Okay, here we go. Seahawks switch their offensive play. Patriots go and switch their play as well. Now, they didn't like what they got into, so they called a timeout.
New England. The 30.
Patriots use their first of 2.
Yep.
In overtime, with the Seahawks on the move. Geno Smith over 300 yards. 11 receptions for both DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith in Jigba.
Over 100 yards for both as well. And this has been a great performance by Geno Smith. And I've mentioned it all game long. You got to give credit to Ryan Grubb, offensive coordinator, understanding how to attack the defense. It's not always with scheme. It's sometimes with tempo. He's done a great job of that. And I love that he's kept it very simple for Geno Smith on this drive. motioning Charbonnet in and out of the backfield to determine whether it's man or zone. And here we go. You see Kyle Duggar for the defense. He's switching their defensive play while Geno Smith is switching the offense.
2nd down and 6. As Smith goes deep, looking for Smith in Jigba. No flags.
So that's interesting because Marcus Jones, he covered Smith and Jigba, I mean, about the same as Jonathan Jones did, right? He's kind of draped over him, but looking at the football, so they don't throw the flag. And that's why I said I could see Jonathan Jones' complaint. He looked back at the football, and they threw a flag on him.
Third down and 6 for Seattle. Smith backpedaling. Charbonnet makes the catch.
Oh, he got the first down.
And looks to have the first. Yes, he does.
What a call against the all-out blitz. You have Charbonnet coming across the field from the back, and then he gets open, and that second effort to get the first down. That is a nice job by Charbonnet.
Gain of 7. New set of downs for the Seahawks from the New England 39. Charbonnet shifts. Smith rolling right on first down. Now looking the other way. Smith throws complete at the 25-yard line. Lockett. For those of you just joining us, Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, Megan O'Leary in Foxborough. Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks on the move. Patriots have already had a possession in overtime. We are tied at 20. Tyler Lockett just picked up a first down. 1st and 10 from the New England 22.
And that was not a design play at all. That was Geno Smith, Tyler Lockett making something happen. Nothing open on the front side. He goes backside to make that play.
Both teams won their openers last week under rookie head coaches. Here's Charbonnet inside the 15, forced out of bounds at the 12.
And they haven't used Charbonnet much in the run game. So you're looking at a guy, he's pretty fresh, to be very honest, and does a nice job with the stiff arm on Jonathan Jones, and Mike McDonald wasting no time. He wants to bring that field goal unit in.
Myers tied the game with 55 seconds remaining after a huge play, a field goal block by the Seahawks' Julian Love. New England would have taken a 6-point lead. Love blocked the attempt.
And that 6-point lead would have forced a touchdown instead of a field goal to tie it.
Right, and then Myers did in fact tie it. And now an opportunity to win the game on the road for Seattle. Ball will be spotted at the 21-yard line. It will be a 31-yard attempt. The Seahawks with great success coming to the Eastern time zone. They've won 16 of their last 21 in 10 a.m. starts Seattle time.
Yeah, and give credit to Pete Carroll. At one point he said, you know what, we're going to come early. We're going to get here, get ready, get situated, get our bodies used to it, and then they wake up and get after it. So they've carried that same structure each time, and they've had a lot of success. I don't think any other West Coast team is above 500 traveling to East and playing at 1 o'clock, right?
And Mike McDonald.
The runner short of the line to gain stands. 2nd down.
Mike McDonald and the Seahawks traveled east on Friday. Here comes Myers for the win. Myers from 31 yards out. Dixon places it down. And the Seattle Seahawks go to 2-0. Under their rookie head coach, Mike McDonald, they defeat to Rod Mayo and the New England Patriots in overtime by the score of 23-20.